Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44. So, I have a topic on my mind that has nothing to do with basketball, politics, or anything too um, crazy at all, really. It's just something I notice in myself that's a bit different than a lot of people. And, it's just self awareness. At some point, you have to start analyzing certain things that uh, find in that category to where things come normal to you, but maybe not as normal to everyone else, and you start to see the differences in yourself. I don't know how many people can relate to that, but so like I was listening to a podcast and there was a guy talking about how he didn't want to apologize for something at random, regardless of what it was. And although I know context would help, I think the basis of what I'm trying to start this process in saying is I just realized that I really don't have a problem apologizing for anything at all. Um, and I noticed very much that a lot of people, particularly males that I know of, they really struggle with that. They struggle with that. Um, and I just wanted to kind of just brush up on why I am the way that I am, in a sense that, like, let me try to toss an example in the air. So I, of course, do security. You guys see this, and a lot of times we are told, to tell people to put their mask on, of course, tell them not to eat, all the stuff that we have to do in this era for COVID. And, I was told once during my training process that we really psychologically tend to not want to apologize for asking people to follow rules that we have in place for them to follow, you know. And I think I understand it. It's to a degree. It's about pride. It's about setting the tone. It's about making it so that people don't feel like they are in a position to win the situation. You're in control. If you're a security guard, you gotta, stay above ground in regards to um, how much control you're holding over the situation. You know what I mean? If we're telling you to do something, you got to do it. We don't make the rules, whatever. But my thing is, if I'm coming to you and I'm asking you to do something that's going to inconvenience you in any way, me apologizing for inconveniencing you is not a disadvantage to me doing my job. If anything, I'm trying to break the ice so that when I approach you, though all you see is this, you hear a tone of a person who's sincere in not only trying to keep you safe, but acknowledging the fact that he's probably being annoying. I don't mind apologizing for that. If it's gonna make you do what it is that I'm asking you to do, I'm gonna press that button. It's like, and I tend to use this analogy for a lot of different things, particularly abstract moves that you have to make in order to do certain things. Maybe not. It doesn't seem like it's the most traditional thing or the most um, obvious thing to do, but sometimes you just have to do it anyway. I say it's chess. We're playing chess. Sometimes you got to sacrifice a piece in order to win the whole game or whatever. So when I think about those type of moves and those type of things that kind of go against the ego, but more or less put you in a position to get what it is that you're trying to get done. Um, it's a chess move and it's necessary. And I feel like in those situations, apologizing, it's just an icebreaker, dude. It's just me reading off of a script. It's not me saying, "Oh my God, it is my fault that you have to wear this mask," and I truly am sorry that I'm asking you to fix it, to follow a rule. No, that's not what I'm sorry for. I'm sorry that I have to waste your time by being in your face asking you to do this. I'm sorry that I have to pull you away from your family in the moment that you're having, and it's for me to do my job. And I appreciate your time and you not being a jerk toward me. So that's how I move. I find fruit in many different types of icebreakers as it pertains to this particular type of job, and I don't find it harmful to my ego or my manhood or any part of my brain to come up to people with a kind tone and just honestly ask them to do something and then thank them for doing it, or apologize for wasting their time asking them to do it and thank them for doing it. It's just courtesy to me. Sometimes, just taking this to a different space, apologizing in relationships. Maybe you are apologizing. You find yourself in a position to have to apologize to your significant other about something that maybe you didn't do. Maybe you're apologizing for something that did not necessarily have horrible intentions on your part. You just had to do this, and maybe you're the type of person that doesn't feel like you need to apologize, or that it's something wrong with apologizing. I don't see any scenario, and it doesn't mean there isn't one. Doesn't mean I won't think of one after this video is over. But I can tell you in this moment, I don't see any harm in apologizing for whatever needs to be apologized for, and a few things that don't need to be apologized for. What you're apologizing for does matter, because when you apologize to certain people, it does come off the idea. It comes off as if you're trying to admit guilt, and in those situations, it's a little bit different than what we're talking about here. But in terms of just swallowing your pride and ego, that's what it's really about here. It's about how many of us are able or were raised properly, in a sense, to be able to swallow our ego and not think about how harmful it may be to apologize for whatever it is that you are apologizing for or could be apologizing for. It's just something I've noticed, and I know a lot of people in their households, particularly individuals who have males who raised them, father figures and fathers in their household, for which I did not have growing up. A lot of times, when you're raised by a woman, in a traditional sense, of course, you're going to be given more of the type of things that help a woman maneuver through the world. Things that she can do to receive respect, and chess moves maybe she can make that maybe a man's not going to know instinctually how to do, or it doesn't come naturally to him to do these things, is what I'm trying to say. My mother instilled some of those things in me: kindness, apologizing, tone, being fair, being nice, acknowledging people in their presence, treating everybody equally. It doesn't feel like a knock to my psyche, and I guess it is because of how I was raised. It's not a knock to my psyche to let you have the right of way, to open the door for you as you walk through. I don't feel like less of a person, or like I'm being disrespectful for my ancestors or something like that, if I open the door for somebody. You know what I mean? Like, common courtesy, there's something to be said for that. But even more so, I just like putting out the energy that I want to see received to myself and to the people that I care about. So, like, for example, if I open a door for somebody's, a couple who are walking in front of me, I open the door for them. That's because I would hope that if my sister and her boyfriend are walking, somebody would randomly treat them that way and not, not be rude to them, or not put them in a position to feel like they are being discarded of, or what have you. Whatever the feeling is when somebody does something or doesn't do something that is courteous, I would like that feeling not to come to my loved ones or self. So I try to go around and be the good I want to see in the world in that regard. And I think it's okay. I think that's what I'm here to tell you guys. I wasn't raised with the ego that tells me I need to put my chest out in order for people to see me be strong. That's just not how I was raised. A lot of that, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't have an ego. If you watch enough of my videos, you'll see my ego. So I'm not going to sit up here and fool myself and tell you guys I'm just egoless. That's just not true. But what I will say is that my ego don't come up in ways like that very often. Naturally, I'm a kind person. Naturally, I want to be nice. Naturally, I tend to try to, stand off in certain situations. I try to keep my energy in a space of peace when I'm in the presence of children, when I'm in the presence of elderly people, etc. Those are the type of things just make me feel good about being who I am. As to where maybe if I was raised by somebody else, or someone who is more so about putting forth an image and making sure that image is displaying strength, which I don't find to be strong at all. I think vulnerability can be a better display of strength. Whatever the more difficult task is a better display of strength. I think personally for myself, it would be a lot easier for me to sit up here and say there's nothing wrong with me, I have no weaknesses, and I wish anybody would try me. That's very easy. But when someone does try you, do I really have what it takes to back that up? Or would I have been better saying this is exactly who I am, and I don't want bad consequences? If they would happen to come my way, I will react to them as I should, but I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I'm something that I'm not, because that is a easy thing to do. And the more difficult thing is to be myself, lay my my weaknesses and my strengths on the table and let you pick and choose what you want to think of me from there. I would rather do that. I would rather sit here and say I don't have it all together so that when I do get it together, I can be honest and say, yo, I'm proud of myself for doing so. You got to feel where you are. You got to be able to embody the moment that you're in so you can appreciate where you're headed. I know that I don't have a whole lot of money right now. I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm balling. Like, that's another thing. I never really understand that culture. Even though I'm in it, hip-hop culture. A lot of the artists that I grew up appreciating and loving, they were in lots and lots of debt. Even though they were making millions of dollars, they were in millions of dollars of debt. They didn't have any money. But they were running around telling everybody they had money. Why? Because the image, though it wasn't strong, it appeared strong to the weak-minded, and therefore it was something that was discarded as truth until people would tell you and people would speak to you in such a way that help you understand that, yo, that rapper ain't as rich as they pretend to be. That, you start hearing the stories as you grow older and you realize, yo, these people never had it like that. They were just pretending to have it like that. They were faking it until they made it. That's not strength. That's not strength. Strength is being able to stand here and say, I don't have anything, and I'm going to get what I can get. I'm going to go get mine. I'm not sitting here telling you I have something I don't have. That doesn't do anything for anybody. I'm leading people astray, telling them they can follow me when I don't even have it all together. No, I'd rather tell you I'm looking for it. And if you're following me, then you can watch me either get it or not get it and learn from either one. But you're not going to hear me say I got something I don't have, or that I'm putting my chest out and I'm the strongest man in the world when I'm dealing with my weaknesses every day. If I'm going to help somebody who watches my channel deal with their weaknesses, I'm not going to do it by denying myself my own. Okay? I'm not going to sit up here and tell you guys, oh my God, everything's going to be on the up and up, and then walk off of this phone and have a depressing moment to myself. No. If I feel bad, I'm going to tell you I feel bad. That's strong, because I can admit what I'm feeling, and I don't care what you think of it. Vulnerability, strong. I'm not trying to defend myself from everything. It's impossible to. I know for a fact that I can be touched. Something could drop right now, kill me right here on this camera. Anybody and everybody can be touched. Ain't no sense in me sticking my chest out like I'm the biggest, baddest wolf, when I know damn well that if there were 7 wolves coming my way, suddenly I'm not the biggest one in the bunch. But I know this, I'll be the strongest one, because I can stand there and say I'm weak, and I can stand there and say I'm strong because of it. I don't have to lie about how strong I am. Come at me. You'll see exactly how strong I am. You know what I mean? It's one of those type of things. You don't have to be about that bravado. That stuff is whack. That stuff doesn't work. It's outdated thinking. And we talk about a lot of stuff that we're trying to evolve from. I know this generation, my generation and the generations beneath me, the one thing that they're trying to do is distance themselves from the generations that were above me and the ways that they did things, the stuff that they tend to fall for in terms of propaganda, the bullheaded ways that they tend to have to ignore people's feelings for fake low-level nonsense like bravado and not being willing to apologize for things that you actually do. Stupid stuff that real men are supposed to be about. To now it's like, no, a real man is supposed to be able to stand firm and say, look, I'm struggling with this, or I'm succeeding in this, and this is where we are right now. I don't have to lie about it. Lying is weak. Lying is weak. Now, I know that there are certain situations that won't allow you to speak. And if you're in those situations, this doesn't apply to you. I'm not talking about nothing like that. I'm talking about everyday people doing everyday things. Lying is weak. Lying is weak. If you have to tell people that you have something or that you are something that you are not, you're not strong for that, bro. Because you're hiding behind the lie. When's the last time you was accusing somebody who was hiding of being strong? When was the last time you saw somebody who's ducking and said they're the bravest person I've ever seen? Only when believing bullcrap do we find ourselves in those spaces where we're looking at somebody who's telling us a lie or living a lie, and we're buying that lie, and because of it we think they're strong. They're not strong. These people aren't strong. As soon as their lie comes out, as soon as that secret comes out, suddenly everybody's up in arms. Oh my God, this person said, no, that person's a human being. That person's a person, bro. I can tell you, living in the human body right now, I have beautiful moments where I'm an anointed spiritual entity, and I have low frequency moments where you probably want to stay away from me. I don't think that makes me a good person or a bad person. It just makes me a person. And I can embody those strengths and those weaknesses. I can tell you that there were things about me 10 years ago that I don't agree with now. If you go back and listen to what I said in those those moments you will see someone who literally doesn't agree with the person that I am today. And that's okay because I've grown some. You know what I mean? And a part of being able to grow is admitting that there is growth to obtain. Also known as accepting your weaknesses. Also known as stepping back and saying, you know what? Yeah, maybe I was wrong. Stepping back saying, you know what? Maybe it wouldn't hurt to swallow my pride and apologize for this. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to try to keep the morale high instead of putting my ego out on the forefront. You know, showing out for people who are watching me when I'm displaying something that's not going to help them if they follow it. A lot of us stick our chests out on some bravado stuff because we saw other people do it, and they were leading us the wrong way when we followed them. Because it didn't make them look no stronger. It didn't provide them anything real. All it did was give them something to hide behind. So at the end of the day, man, I'm not hiding. You know, I spent a great deal of my life hiding from stuff. What I will not do is hide from my weaknesses at 36 years of age. What I will not do is lie to you guys about where I'm at and where I'm headed. Even if I don't know where I'm headed, I'm certainly not going to lie about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with that. I just don't think ego serves us at all. And anything that we do in the name of ego is misguided, in my opinion. It's misguided. If you are not doing something because your ego's in the way, chances are you probably should be doing whatever it is you're not doing. If you're not making it right with somebody because your pride is in the way and you're too big to apologize, even though you know you probably should try to make that right, regardless if you did something wrong or not. Apologizing could break the ice, be the right chess move, etc. Chances are you should probably do that. You're not doing it. It's the wrong move. You know what I mean? And anybody that tells you otherwise is just trying to hide. They appreciate weakness. Anybody hiding behind that lie, hiding behind their ego, and they're celebrating that, they're weak too. Don't follow them. They're weak. They're weak and not aware of it. Some of us are weak. I have weakness in me, but it's not going to be in the form of me hiding from it, because it's not. You can't strengthen something that you hide from. You sweep dirt under the rug. What ends up happening? It doesn't get any cleaner. Can't sweep stuff under the rug. It stays dirt under there. And what you can do is admit it, get it out in the open, get the little dust buster, clean up under that rug, and you have an actually clean place. You can either have the rug there or not. Remove the rug and you still have a clean floor. But if you put that rug over dirt, there's still going to be muck underneath that rug, and when you pull up from under it, you're going to find all kinds of stuff growing under there. Hiding behind your lies, it doesn't help you. Hiding behind your secrets, it doesn't help you. And most importantly, it has consequences for your loved ones. You know? You got a homeboy, did something wrong to him, make it right. If apologizing to make it right, make it right. If he doesn't accept your apology, consider it his fault. That's his weakness. You did your part now. Maybe apology ain't enough. Still give the apology. That's what you got. I don't have everything I need, but I have a little bit of something. Let me put that forth. I do have this apology in hand. I can't make this right. I can't fix this problem. I can't turn around what's done. I can't absolve myself from what I've done, but what I can do is own it. And in doing so, you'll know I'm out front and center with all of me embodied in front of you, weakness and strength alike, not hiding behind nothing. Not a lie, not a bravado, not a weakness. Here I am. That's strength, buddy. You can look in my eyes, you're reading what you see, and what you see is exactly what it is, because ain't nothing to hide about, ain't nothing to lie about. And if I own it, I ain't even got to be mad at myself about it when I go to sleep. Even if you stay mad at me, I get to lay my head down knowing I did my part. And that's important, I think. So I think if you take from what I've said here, apply it to your life as you see fit. Some of us have to wear different hats. Maybe this just doesn't apply for your situation again. If it's not for you, it isn't. But I can tell you, even if this is not for you, you keep this message with you. Because if it's not for you now, it may be for you later. It may be for you to recognize it in someone else and just let them be who they are. Don't try to put forth what you have in you in them when you identify that they need to do what it is that I've discussed here for the last 20 minutes. Let them be that. Let them show their weakness. If they're weak, let them show that. If that man is different, let him be different. You know? the notion that that person has to hide behind their lies so that they get that approval from you, you're enabling that weakness within them. If you call yourself someone that loves them, you let them live their truth in your presence. And I think a lot of us know what I'm talking about in regards to that. You gotta let people be themselves, man. If you're gonna sit up here and say, I'm real, I want people around me to be real, I want people to be around me, well, when they're real, you need to let them be that. And go around trying to silence the real, and they get mad when you look around and see fake everywhere. People are lying to you because you don't accept nobody. For those it applies to, of course. People are lying to you, can't be themselves around you because they're afraid you're gonna condemn them for what it is that they actually are. When a lot of us can't even accept ourselves. We going around condemning others because we are jealous of who they are in living their truth, not hiding behind their lie, not being weak in the presence of their circumstances. See what I'm saying? This applies to a lot of different types of topics. But I think at the end of the day, a lie begets a lie, begets a liar. And the truth? Well, the truth is something you can build upon. The weakness that you find yourself in when you stand front and center in your truth, you ain't never gonna be that weak again. That's the beauty of owning your stuff. You ain't never gonna be weaker than you were in that moment when you were forced to face the music. After that, only strength can be built from there. Because you stood in your truth, you were honest to yourself, you were honest to others, and you didn't try to protect yourself. So what happens when you protect yourself? Not only are you protecting yourself from danger, but you're also protecting yourself from blessings, from good things. Because the defense mechanism really doesn't differentiate what's positive and what's negative. It just keeps a block up, and whatever ain't supposed to come through according to its nature doesn't come through. But sometimes those things that you need to come through, like consequences and the beginning to deal with stuff and dealing with nature and dealing with your truth and all of that, you can only obtain that by standing in it. And as long as you continue to brush that stuff under the rug, it stays dirty. Can't stress that enough. Live in your truth. Let people live in their truth and strive for that truth. Strive for it. And if you're sorry, say that then. My name is BDF44. Thanks for watching. I'm out.